All right, Capricorns, welcome to your monthly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for May of 2016. I'm Mathin, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, Capricorn, so I'm going to go through the major events of the month. If you do want a more specific look, do stay tuned for your weeklies where I go into the specific aspects of what's going on. But this should give you a very good general idea and what you can cultivate this month moving forward. So the first thing I want to look at is where all the fast-moving planets are. We've got the Sun, we've got retrograde Mercury at the beginning of the month, and Venus all in Aries. So this is your fourth house. Now this is the house of home, of family, of your health. And so you can really be gaining a lot of energy through this personal side of your life right now. With the Sun, you could be learning quite a bit about this area of your life as well. Maybe even rehashing things around home or with family or with your health, which is excellent because you're learning a lot about that with that retrograde Mercury. And Venus is down here at the bottom where she likes to be. So it could be enjoying those connections there, enjoying that connection to your health and all of that stuff that is what you might consider your root in life. Now, the first major event of the month is going to be on the 6th, which is when we have the new moon in that fourth house. So there are things being cultivated here in this area for you. Now, at the beginning around the 6th, it is a more receptive time. So it's good to kind of plant new seeds, see where you want to cultivate your home or your family life, your personal life, or your health in both the short term of the next 30 days, since this is the lunar cycle, but also in the next 6 months, which is the solar cycle in the long-term sort of sense or the larger sense. So it's good to sit with it early in the month to set intentions and maybe even just sit with the body and the emotional aspects of life, because the fourth house is very much about the roots, the soul, and the foundations that really come from within there. And it's a very nice new moon, in fact, because it is going to be forming a kite, which is a lot of supportive aspects from the other planets. It is even going to be conjoining up to Venus and that retrograde Mercury, accentuating the fact that you can enjoy this connection to your body, this connection to your personal life, and learn quite a bit about it. Now, on the 9th, we've got Jupiter going direct. He's been retrograde for the past 5 months. And so there's been a lot of reflection, I think, for you in terms of the deeper truths of life in your 8th house with Jupiter here. So this is the house of intimacy. It's the house of primarily intimacy with self, seeing what, what's on the deeper level, what's deep within us. What is that core of who we are? And it's meant to be felt, right? It's a lot of the deeper things that sometimes we push away or hide away come to the forefront to be healed and to be transformed. And the way they become healed and transformed is really through acceptance, right? So this is acceptance of the self and being open with the self in that sense. And with Jupiter here, it just becomes a bit easier, because it's a benefic. And so the transformation process, the healing process, all of the things being considered, of course, with Jupiter here, it can come across as easy. So now a lot of the energy starts to move forward where you might actually see more of you're opening up, or there's more vulnerability or intimacy, of course, from self first, but it might mirror in your external environment now that Jupiter's direct, so with relationships or whatever it might be. So that's very nice, and that's going to be a continued expansion for you with Jupiter in that 8th house. Now on the 14th, the Sun does shift into Taurus, followed by Venus on the 19th. So there is this shift going into your 5th house of self-expression this month. So the second half, you can probably find there's a lot of energy, there's a lot of prana expressing yourself, or following your interests or your passions in life, your creative pursuits, anything close to the heart. And with Venus, you can be enjoying this stuff probably quite a bit as well going into June. Now on the 21st, we've got a full moon. It's going to be right on the cusp between Libra and Scorpio, which is right in the middle between your 10th and your 11th house. So the 10th house is about your career. So you could be at a high point with your career this month, or a status check. You're seeing how things have been cultivated since the past 6 months. And if you've been really focused on this over the past 6 months, you could see the culmination or the high point with that. But in either case, it's about moving forward because it's the halfway point. And with that energy, with that insight, you can maybe shift into a new direction and continue to move forward with it. And it is going to be an energetic sort of full moon, I feel like, because it is conjoining up to Mars, or at least there is that assertiveness, there's that drive about it. Now, one thing I do want to say is that Mars is retrograde this month. So there is this reflective energy, I think, specifically with the community things or your ideals the first half of the month. But then once the second half of the month starts to shift, and especially after this full moon on the 21st, you'll probably find that you're reflecting on the career. You're reflecting on the future, on the legacy, on the productive stuff. So it's good to be malleable, but you'll probably find that energy is there, right? And to try new things with it and be adaptive in that process. Now, the other area of culmination for you is, of course, that 11th house as well. So this could be also a high point in terms of your ideals, your visions, and things that maybe you've set new intentions with over the past 6 months. All right, so that's the full moon. Then on the 22nd, Mercury does go station direct. So there is a lot of that forward moving energy there for you in terms of your home or your family or your health. And I think a lot of the things you learned this month can certainly be implemented going into next month in June. And you'll probably feel that if it's been a bit more internal in that area, perhaps internal emotionally as well, it becomes a bit easier to express it and to cultivate in the external sense once Mercury gains his momentum after that 22nd. Now on the 26th, we have the last aspect between Jupiter squaring up to your ruler Saturn, which has been going on all the way since August of last year. So with this, there's been those expansions and possibilities for you to connect to that deeper aspect of life and what's really meaningful to you with Jupiter in that 8th. But then Saturn has been helping you really ground it and take it seriously. And this has been a Saturn in your 11th house, helping you actualize your ideals, your visions, your hopes, and even community things or things that you might be involved with in terms of friends or collective matters that Saturn has been helping you take seriously as well. So with that, it's all about integrating these two areas, and the integration point is that it's through this hard work with cultivating your hopes and wishes and maybe even community stuff. It's directly relating to you opening up, and you opening up and transforming and all of that is directly related to these ideals and stuff. So it's working hard on both while at the same time seeing the opportunities of both and merging the possible with the practical or realistic in that sense. All right, Capricorn, so have a fantastic month. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.